Recording in progress.
You could rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. The sun is out. Minutes of a public meeting held on April 17th. Is there any changes, omissions? I believe that everyone received them. Could I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes held on April 17, 23.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. And all in favor, we need a roll call, Alicia? Or?
You don't have to get a roll call, you can do a...
All right.
All in favor?
All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
I just need to abstain. I wasn't present at the last meeting.
Oh, that's correct. Okay. Before we go into our new business, I have a statement to make this morning to everyone. The town received a right-to-know request for text messages between the select board and the department heads. When asked to narrow down the request, the requester indicated that he was specifically looking for a text between myself and a department head. While this text does not specifically relate to any business over which the select board has jurisdiction, nor is it sent in my capacity as a select person. I have always believed in transparency in government, and there it was provided to the requester pursuant to RSA 91-A. I acknowledge that this text was insensitive, and I apologize to anyone that I offended. I also want to apologize to my fellow board members and to the community for my insensitive comment. It was not my intention to hurt any feelings. My actions were mere comments in a quick text, not meant for others. I know it's been commented that I should resign. And while I appreciate everyone's opinion on this, I will not step down from my duties as chairperson or as member of the board, as I feel strongly that I have always worked hard for our community, and I intend to continue serving Belmont and its residents to the best of my ability. This is all that I'll say on the matter. I'll allow anyone who wishes to speak on this matter a moment to do so. If you want to make a public comment, you must come to the podium, state your name for the record and your address. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes each so that we may get to the rest of the town business that's on our agenda. I'll not engage in a back and forth conversation on this matter. So if there's anyone that would like to come forward.
My name is Lori Godner, 173 Hoadley Road in Belmont. And what I want to say is that my son Joshua is a wonderful young man. He is kind to everybody, and a lot of people in this room know him. And I hope that in the future you're careful with your comments. I have no issue with what you feel about my husband, but to bring my son into a conversation where he's an innocent person is just not acceptable to me. And he can't speak for himself, so I am speaking for him. And I guess that's all I have to say.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Hearing none, then we'll, what? Oh, I'm sorry. What?
We had a member of the community not be able to make it today, so she submitted a statement that she would like to say on her behalf via email. So this is from Tracy Leclerc. I have served on the town's budget committee with Ruth Mooney for almost 10 years, and last year we both served on the Canterbury Withdrawal Study Committee. If you aren't familiar with these committees, I can tell you that both are made up of a diverse group of people from different backgrounds. During these meetings, Ruth has put the best interests of the residents of Belmont first and always in a professional manner. I'm aware of the texts that were obtained via the right to know law. I do not believe or want Ruth to resign as a result of this. We now live in a time where one misstep on social media can change your life. The cancel culture. In this case, Ruth is being criticized and attacked because a text she thought she was sending to a private phone. We should be teaching the young people in our town that if you make a mistake, all is not lost and you can turn that mistake into a learning opportunity and move on. Everyone has said something inappropriate or that they regret at one time or another. We should not be judging Ruth's worthiness to serve as a select board member on text sent in her personal time, rather by what she has selflessly done for the town of Belmont. Thank you, Tracy Leclerc.
Question for Alicia real quick. Is there anyone that's on Zoom that wanted to say anything? It looks like there's a lot more people up there than normal. Just want to make sure.
Do you want me to open it up to those on Zoom?
It just seems like there's a lot of people up there.
I don't mind.
At this time, there is no discussion from the public in person. Is there anyone on Zoom who would like to make a public comment? If so, please state your name, and I'll try to take them in order. Since no one is,
All right.
Yes,
okay.
Mark Brown. So I understand that, that Chair made this comment, not understanding that she was sending it to a personal phone. As a government official, elected official, it doesn't matter who you're sending it to. You just don't put it in writing if you're making a comment. Second of all, you shouldn't even be making a comment about somebody's son. Like, my aunt has the same disease as this person. She lived a glorious life, but she could not speak and was picked on. I feel terrible for this child, because this child is now going to have a name and a symbol for what this chair has done. I stand with Brian. You don't attack somebody's son. You don't attack somebody's child. Rightfully so, Brian was trying to run for election. Us adults can handle our words. And that same goes for a public official. And if you think that you should not be able to be resigned or stand down as chair, how are you running our community? We put faith in you, we elect you, and this is what you do to the general public. It is terrible. If anything, you should stand down as chair or resign, because I tell you what, my children have special needs conditions, and if my children were brought up in conversation like this child was, I would not know what I would do. Let's just say that. And I'm sure you have children, and I'm sure a lot of people in this room have children. And if your children's names were brought up in vain for some comical thing, you all know you would fight and want justice. There has been no justice for this, and this town is not holding this person accountable, and it's a shame. You
we'll move on to new business. Our first order of business is Police Department, new hire. Mark?
As you know, Sergeant Terry had left the police department, went back to the training academy. Since that time, we've opened it up, looking for a patrol sergeant. We have found one. His name is Chris Rideout. He is currently employed by the Belmont County Sheriff's Department. He will be coming here, hopefully, to occupy the position of sergeant for us. You have the letter that I've sent in. We'd like to swear him in on that Monday, and he would start his official duties that day, being accompanied by Lieutenant Belanger.
Awesome. So we need a motion to accept. Who would like to read that motion?
I'll make that motion. Motion to approve the hiring of Christopher Rideout as a full-time police sergeant for the town of Belmont with a starting date of May 15th, 2023.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, Alicia?
Roll call number 1, John Pike.
Yes.
Sunny Patton.
Yes.
Travis O'Hare.
Yes.
Sharon Champion.
Yes.
Ruth Mooney.
Yes.
Seven zero, motion passes.
All right. Our second is Police Department resignation.
So Officer Kobus has handed in his resignation. He is on his way to New Hampshire State Police. So that leaves us with another opening that we're trying to fill, and that is not going very well. We're not getting good applicants at all. We've had 3 non-certified people apply. 2 of them didn't pass the PT, and 1 didn't show up. So the phone is not ringing off the wall for police officers to come here.
I think Friday I saw you was the villain.
It's me.
And the state police is offering a higher,
He's moving into state police for about a $7 an hour raise, plus he's getting a $10,000 sign-on bonus.
sign-on bonus, that's the word.
And he gets another raise July 1.
Yeah.
So, we can't compete.
I was just gonna say, it's getting to the point that we can't compete. All right.
Alicia, do we do exit interviews?
We do, and I did conduct a exit interview with Mr. Kobus on Thursday.
I was asking in general. So do you do them for all employees, no matter what department?
I try to. Sometimes by the time I'm aware that they're leaving, they're either have, because some employees will take vacation time the last week or 2, they've already gone.
Right.
By the time, so I tried to get one with Mr. Terry, but he had already left before, and, but yes,
Okay.
I try my best to, as long as I'm, aware and enough time and try to arrange it. I did also have one with our fire chief as well.
Oh, okay.
Conservation Commission membership renewal.
In your packet, you have 2 requests. You have one from Jane Jordan. She's a renewing member for the conservation, and Pauline Tessier. And she's also a renewing member, looking to renew their membership as full members for terms to expire March 31 of 2026.
I have a motion to accept those members.
I can make a motion to approve the Conservation Commission request to reappoint Jane Jordan and Pauline Tessier as full members with the term to expire March 31st, 2026.
In a second,
Second.
and roll call.
Roll call number 2, Sharon Champion.
Yes.
Travis O'Hare.
Yes.
Sunny Patton.
Yes.
John Pike.
Yes.
Ruth Mooney.
Yes.
5-0, motion passes.
Okay. Any other new business?
I do not.
Okay. We will move on to old business. Code enforcement update. Mark. Good morning.
Should he go up there so they can hear him? Should he speak from the podium so that people,
I think it's the bigger mic, not the little mic.
It's probably
just so they can hear you?
probably a good thing with my voice still being somewhat non-existent. So in regards to 130 Depot and 752 Laconia Road, I have the petitions to give you. There is one typo in each, which I have talked to Mitchell Group about, but outside of that, nothing's changed. Everything's been signed and notarized, so I can give you these so you guys can be aware of it as well. Recently, I did, when Mitchell Group wanted some final documentation for 752 Laconia Road, the owner was there and was discussing everything that they were going to be doing to remedy the issues on the property. I did inform them that it was the intent of Belmont to file suit. Since that time, which was last Tuesday, I believe, they have removed one RV, but they still have the multiple RVs and boats and remaining junkyard. I have made contact with Mr. Walker recently as well, specifically to address the new RV that has shown up on the property. He has changed his explanation of it since he last visited with you, and he supposedly now owns it and is going to fix it and sell it. But I have let him know that it is the town's intention to file suit as well.
Okay. Plain and simple.
I think I have one other thing I'd like to bring up while we have Mark. And I know there's been some discussion and I think I've been toying with it. And I'd like to bring up the discussion of a body cam. I think obviously you have people that are calling with complaints against Mark. Being a code enforcement is a thankless job, believe me. I can understand that. And I'm sure once you go to somebody's door and deliver them the news, they're not happy, and then they end up calling Alicia. And I guess my question is, I'll address it to Mark. How much is a body cam?
I'm gonna defer to Lieutenant Belanger, he's got the information.
Okay, awesome. All right, Evan, if you could just give us a little bit of information on a body cam, because I just am really nervous about his safety, the town's liability, and what could happen if something happened. All right?
So the equipment is not the cost. The cost is the data.
Okay.
So we just did this with Richie's grant, and we spent $3,200 over a 5-year period for the body camera and about 250 gigs of data per year, which is the national average for officers.
That's a lot more. All right.
Obviously, Mark's going to record less than I think we do on a day-to-day basis, but he could sort of ride onto our cloud and be tailored for restrictions as to what he can view, and we could handle redactions, things like that. My only suggestion is that we bounce this probably off a legal mind. RSA 105 covers policing with body cameras.
Okay.
He would not be subject to that, so he would fall under violation of privacy and wiretap statute.
Mm-hmm.
People have a right not to be recorded in their homes. So that's the only gray area that I see. I don't know how we navigate that.
All right. And I assume that if he walks up to your door and knocks on it, he's going to tell you, he's going to introduce himself, and he's going to tell you that he is recording this.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be,
Yeah,
I would,
he has to by law.
he has to by law.
So,
All right.
and we have to do the same thing by law. It sounds a little robotic, and people are kind of turned off about it, but, it passes that legal threshold.
Mm-hmm.
But if they say, okay, well, I don't want to be recorded, we have to know legally what to do with that.
Okay, all right, okay. And I guess, Mark, how do you feel about that? Because you're the one that's knocking on the door.
Right. With the split of the position, this would be used more on the code.
Code,
and
I
other
understand.
things. We'd have to make a decision on whether or not it clears up, it clears up a lot of language hurdles.
Well, I think the other thing is if you're gonna use it, you're gonna use it on the code part all the time, because you might go up to somebody and think they're your best friend, and because you have an issue, all right, they're in violation of whatever, yeah, I would think you would use it.
I think it eliminates the he said, I said program.
I've had many instances, well, many, I mean, a handful of instances where what was perceived on my end as a very positive interaction with the property owner to
Turn.
the very next day, everything had completely changed. And I was not necessarily accused of things, but, you know, came into the town hall very upset that I would even, you know, address the property issues with, you know, with
Yeah,
him.
it eliminates that.
Okay, all right.
Where do we find the money?
How do you?
Where do we find the money?
feel
Do
about-
any of these other towns, code enforcement officers have body cameras?
It has come up at the monthly meeting a couple times. Body cams and drone footage for code enforcement is somewhat of a gray area, and just like Mr. Evans, you know, said, it needs to be run through and have a legal decision on it. You know, whether it is, you know, falls into, you know, invasion of privacy, and even drone for that matter. The current legal language, you know, for drones, as long as you stay within the right of way, you're not in violation of any space. And I'm sure that opinion may change from attorney to attorney. So that I can't speak for, no, for our attorney, but that's what the New Hampshire BOA is telling us, like as far as drone goes. But no one, not to my knowledge, no one has started a body cam with code enforcement. But I'll be going to a training next Wednesday, and I'll specifically bring that up.
All right.
I think you should have one. He took Travis and I for a tour, and we actually had this conversation, and I think, given some of the situations in society, that maybe he should be the most protected.
I mean, you stop and think about it, the poor guy that was running his weed whacker or his leaf blower, and the neighbor went over and shot him somewhere. It was on the news over the weekend. I'm going, ooh, you know, it's such a volatile.
And there's a lot of situational awareness, you know, that you do when you approach a property, and how you knock on the door, and where you stand, and how you stand, which I'm very cognizant, you know, of. And I know that I've at least broached the topic, you know, of body cam in the past. You know, if it doesn't happen immediately, you know, if it can start to, you know, work its way to a front burner, I think that'd be a great asset for us.
My personal opinion is that we need to find the money somewhere. There must be somewhere in the budget that we can.
Definitely cheaper than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I have to say that too, and I guess, Mark, or Evan, if I understood, you're saying about $3,200 a year, and that includes the cloud. Is that upfront? The cloud and the camera.
That's for a 5 year.
5 years.
Oh, 5 years, I'm sorry, why did I said 3? I meant 5.
So we could
Fine.
essentially bring him into our replacement plan every 2.5 years. They replace all of our cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there's a new camera out there, they bump you up to
Do
that.
they?
And that includes the 250 gigs of data every year for that.
Yep, all right. I don't know about anybody
So
else.
the only clarification I think we're gonna have to
Yeah.
get is from.
It's from the legal.
What he would
That's
have to
exactly
say
right.
and what
Yep.
he'd have to do if they don't wanna be
Yep.
recorded.
Yes, I would ask.
Procedure.
Yes, I was just gonna say that. If you could, but I think it is the consensus.
No, I'm against it.
You're against
I'm gonna
it?
speak against it, yeah.
All right. Sharon, you're,
Yeah.
all right.
I'm gonna stay neutral till I hear what the lawyers say.
So, till the lawyer says, all right. We will bring it up then, well, we should know for our next meeting, I would think, hopefully from the lawyer. Hopefully. We'll attempt
Good
for the
luck with
next
that.
meeting
Or if
to
not,
have
at least
that.
at least from Mark when he goes to this meeting, which I assume is
Wednesdays.
supervised by someone from the state?
Yeah, so the.
Who puts on-
The president of the NHBOA.
Okay.
So if there's not a black and white, answer on something like that, I'm fairly certain that he'd get some advice on his end.
Okay.
And
Sure.
get back to us.
I'd like to hear back on that.
The more the better.
I can reach out to other towns and TAs and see
Yeah.
how if they've even approached this yet, or if they've enacted it or not, or what they're getting kickback from and why.
My feeling is I guess I'd rather be proactive than have to be reactive.
Yep.
In this regard. All right, thank you, Mark.
Yes.
All right. Do we have any other old business?
I do not.
We do not. Our next meeting is scheduled for May 15th. I assume that's 10 o'clock in the morning.
As of right now, yes.
All right, and then we are going to move into a non-public session, 91-A colon number 3, Roman numeral number 2, letters what? E and I?
B as in boy.
Oh, B.
And I.
I'm having trouble with
Study
these
those a
letters.
little bit more, so.
And we need a roll call.
Travis?
Yes.
Yes.
Ruth Mooney?
Sunny Pat?
Sharon Champion?
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Donna, can I hand this to you?
Oh, yeah, well, actually, I have two deeds downstairs that you need as well, but.
Okay, those need signatures. I'll stop then after and grab them.
It looks like somebody
right.
bent up a paperclip or something.
Is there a bathroom on this top floor?
Yeah, right around.